कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Krishna. So today's nice shloka, very apt for today's occasion. So let's try to chant this. Nahi adbhutam tvaccharanabjarenubhe hatam haso bhaktiradoksha jemala muhurtikhad yasya samagamachame dustarkamulo pahato vivekah. Okay. So what do I mean? No, not, he, certainly, adbhutam, wonderful, tvacharana abjarenubi, the dust of your lotus feet, hata amshaha, who am completely freed from the reactions of sinful life, bhakti, love and devotion, adokshaje, and to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is beyond the capture of experimental knowledge, amala, completely freed from all material contamination, muhurtikar, momentary, yasya, of whom, samagamat, by the visit and association, cha, also, may, my, dustarka, of false arguments, mulaha, the root, apahataha, completely vanquished, avivekaha, not discriminating. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. It is not at all wonderful that simply by being covered by the dust of your lotus feet, one immediately attains the platform of pure devotional service to Adokshaja, which is not available even to great demigods like Brahma. By associating with you just for a moment, I am now freed from all argument, false prestige and lack of discrimination, which are the roots of entanglement in the material world. Now I am free from all these problems. Purport. Association with pure devotees certainly frees one from material clutches. This is certainly true of King Rahugana's association with Jada Bharata. King Rahugana was immediately freed from the misgivings of material association. The arguments offered by pure devotees to their disciples are so convincing that even a dull-headed disciple is immediately enlightened with spiritual knowledge. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Okay. So now we see that this wonderful section where King Rahuvana is offering his praises to his spiritual master. So here is the previous sloka he mentioned. The birth as a human being is best of all. Even birth among the demigods in the heavenly planets is not as glorious as the birth of human beings on this earth. What is the use of exalted position of a demigod in the heavenly planets? Due to profuse material comforts, there is no possibility of associating with devotees. So here, this is like in many prayers that is offered by the devotees, pure devotees of the Lord. So they negate the this one that we don't want to be a great king in this planet, or we don't want to be a demigod, or like or head of the demigods, Indra or the Brahma, or personalities like that. So we only want to be a servant of the Supreme Lord. So now here also it was mentioned that it is not even available for great demigods like Brahma, so the pure devotional service. So it doesn't mean that all Brahmas, none of the Brahmas are pure devotees. It's not, it is nothing to speak on that lines. But then it is, if we get a position like Brahma and we are deprived of devotional service to the Supreme Lord, so then such a position is not very much appreciated. So but if we have like any of the services or any of the positions, so if it is accompanied with devotional service of the Lord, and if it is desire of the Lord that we may do such a service, so then it is okay. No, otherwise it is, such position is not at all appreciated by a devotee. So first and foremost thing for a devotee is that he wants to be an exclusive devotee of Krishna. And even the 26 qualities of a devotee, or 26 qualities of a devotee. So in that, what is the key quality? Krishna Eka Sharanam. So there are many other qualities that are there. So in fact, during our Ram Navami time, we had this exercise of what is the similarity between a devotee and a demon. So like a devotee may also be an expert in Vedic studies, and a demon also may be expert in Vedic studies. A devotee may wear an attire looking like a devotee. A demon also may wear an attire similar to that. So a devotee may do tapasya, austerity, charity and things like that. A demon may also do all these things. So like in this way, many things that we can actually see. But what is the difference between a devotee and a demon? So a devotee means he wants to do only things that are pleasing to the Supreme Lord. And sometimes demon may also do this, And then, so for what purpose? Like only for the purpose of pleasure of the Lord. A demon may have other this ones, like other needs, other things that he may be desiring for. So a devotee is a person who is desiring things for the satisfaction of the Lord, right? So in that way, like the brilliant definition given by Rupa Goswami is amazing, that like jnana karma adi anavritam, like not being covered by jnana and karma, and also like no other desire other than to please the Supreme Lord, and also that too in the following in the footsteps of the previous acharyas, previous established devotees who have been expert in pleasing the Supreme Lord, and then favorable for Krishna. So that is very, very important. It is not that favorable for me, it is favorable for Krishna. So what is favorable for Krishna? So that thing has been executed. So and here a devotee is telling that heavenly condition is not very good because there is profuse material comforts. And the problem with the material things is that it has, by design, it has a nature to induce our sense gratification. So that is the problem with the material things. And when there is profuse material things that is there, so that is generally avoided by a devotee. A devotee generally doesn't want to have too much of material possessions or too much of material comforts, because that is a distraction. And here especially, here is he's a king, Rahugana. So he's having all material comforts, that is best possible in this world. And he is coming to such a realization. It's an amazing this one, that all these things are going to be distractions, and if it can be utilized in the service of the Lord properly, and if that kind of advancement is there and maturity is there, so then it is okay. Otherwise, it is not very helpful. The material facilities is not very helpful. And today's shloka, it is mentioned, it is not at all wonderful that simply by being covered by the dust of your lotus feet, one immediately attains the platform of pure devotional service to Adokshaja, which is not available even to great demigods like Brahma. So whenever we discuss about this point of immediate purification, so the question comes that Bhakti Yoga, it is speaking about immediate purification and things like that. So it doesn't seem to happen. So that means it doesn't look like you are doing Bhakti Yoga. That's a very solid establishment. Otherwise, to convince people, people say that we work outside and then we do devotional service, and work also we do it as an offering to Krishna. So that is also Bhakti Yoga. So it becomes very difficult to convince in that matters. So but this point is very nice. Like if you are able to see this kind of transformation, then you are doing Bhakti Yoga. Otherwise you are not doing Bhakti Yoga. So because otherwise Bhakti Yoga bejti ho jayega. So it is real Bhakti Yoga means that just by association, just by a moment association. So muhurtikad, it is mentioned here. Just by a moment's association, so one has to have this kind of transformation. So that's the highest dose of Bhakti Yoga. And any other reduction in this one in the effect, that means it has been diluted. The Bhakti Yoga has been diluted in some way or other. Either one has not met with a person who is very capable of avoiding that kind of practice of devotion, or one has met with a person who is very capable, but then he is not having the right attitude to connect with that person, and or he's committing some offenses, or he's not subscribing to the highest form of Bhakti Yoga. So then this delay in the effect is seen. So everywhere there is going to be purification of heart. So but how fast it is going to happen, so that depends on what way we are actually associating with a great personality. So by association with you, just for a moment, I am now freed from all argument, false prestige and lack of discrimination, which are the roots of entanglement in the material world. So here it is mentioned that false prestige, lack of discrimination, so and freed from all arguments, basically, so things that are come from avidya, so that gives a lot of different kind of perspective for this material world. So but then when vidya arises, so all these false perceptions are actually destroyed. And this is possible. So when will the vidya arise? So vidya arise when there is when the Supreme Lord is merciful to the living entity, so the vidya arises. So when the Lord will become merciful, so when sadhu of this nature, Jada Bharat, he shows mercy, and then even Jada Bharat and Rahugana had a little longer association. So they both had association in the form of Jada Bharat carrying the palanquin, and after that they had another kind of association, so that is king chastising the Jada Bharat, and then after that they had completely different association where the king is submissive and he is listening to Jada Bharat. So now in these different things, when the right formula of when you are submissive to a great personality, and then the great personality also was merciful to award, so when this combination, when it occurred, so then the transformation actually happened, right? So it is very essential that the association of devotees in the mood of listening to their instructions and following the instructions, and for their pleasure and for attaining the ultimate goal of purification of heart and attaining the lotus feet of the Lord. So if this is properly done, so then the result is going to be there. and the roots of material entanglement, it's going to be destroyed. So here we see, like today also we have this ceremony of Vyasa Puja. So like the most important aspect, in this is that to a disciple, sees that he is not this kind of transformation has not happened in the heart. So that means, even though I've got a bona fide spiritual master, I've wasted my time. So not properly connecting, with that great personality. And always we have been discussing what is a connection. So just like a mobile getting charged, we need the connection of the charger. So in the same way, we getting connected to the Supreme Lord or the representative of the Supreme Lord. So what is a medium of connection? Service is the medium of connection. And so service means that which is pleasing to that personality and that which is desirable for that personality. So how do we know that? So by the way of Shravanam. So when we do Shravanam, so that's Shravanam itself is a great service. And also the Shravanam reveals a lot of aspects of that great personality, and so from there we can actually understand so what is to be followed, and by following that we will be able to please him, and by pleasing that personality, so like we will be able to get this effect of all the arguments, false prestige and lack of discrimination, all these things can get destroyed. So basically the avidya can get destroyed and the vidya can arise. So one of the other meditations that I was having is that so we need to be engaged, the devotees who subscribe to the process of full-time Krishna consciousness. So we need to be sure that we are engaged only in the pure Krishna consciousness, or Krishna consciousness as it is, right? So for that, what is the most important thing? So when we do hearing, the hearing should be without any offense and from the right source. So Srila Prabhupada's subject matter, it's very right source. We hear from Srila Prabhupada's purports and lectures, that's a very right source. And we may also hear from some other sources, or for example, somebody may say that I am executing Bhakti Yoga and I am seeing some serial of Mahabharata. It's very much in relation to Krishna, very much in relation to the devotees of Krishna and things like that. So that can be counted as Shravanam, right? That can be counted as Shravanam, no? Why it cannot be counted? Krishna is there in the character and devotees are there, and almost all the pastimes of Lord are depicted.
They are not devotees who play.
They are not devotees who are playing, okay. Nice.
Along with the Vani, the mood also is very important. The unity of the person is also very important.
So when it is presented as it is, so sometime back we just was discussing this point, a devotee and a demon, so both of them may have knowledge of the pastimes of the Lord. For example, this whole point we started because Ravana, when he was lifting this one Kailash mountain, so Lord Shiva pressed the mountain and then his hands got stuck. And then his ministers advised him that it is very easy to please Lord Shiva. You offer nice hymns in glorification of Lord Shiva. And in that context, it is mentioned Ravana, who is expert in all the Vedic studies, he knew how to offer prayers and he knew all the prayers for Lord Shiva. He knew prayers for all the devatas. It is all contested. So, and he immediately offered nice glorification to Lord Shiva. And in a while, Lord Shiva became pleased and he came and offered him liberation from the clutches, and then so finally there is demon if you are pleased with me, so why not you give your Pashupatastra also. So काम बना लिया उन्होंने. So anyway, so this point of anybody can depict the pastimes of the Lord, pastimes of the devotees and pastimes of Mahabharata, Ramayana and things like that. But if it is presented as it is, so then it is of value, right? So then it is Krishna as good as Krishna. So then when we associate with Krishna, so then there is purification of heart is going to happen. But if it is not like it is only subject matter is like revolving around Krishna, but it is not exactly Krishna. So then we will not get purification of heart. So like it will be a subject matter in three modes of nature, or it will be a subject matter of Mayavad also sometimes. So it will not offer the desired purification of heart. So that is why it is very essential that we associate with like 24/7. So we need to be associated with the elements of Krishna consciousness without offense in a pure form as it is. So that is very essential. So like our morning program is authorized. Our Shravanam, the subject matter of Shravanam is authorized. And then our services, we have to see, like constantly see, like if we are doing the services, those services are authorized or not, right? And the authorized services are like book distribution and Harinam Sankirtan and preaching the message as presented by the acharyas. So these are all like authorized services. And then another very important authorized service that we get is the instructions of the spiritual master. How to do this service, what are the goals that we have. So like that is a great, very great benediction upon the living entity, that he gets an opportunity to render service and he gets a clear mandate or clear direction of what we are supposed to do. So that's a very nice thing. And for this reason, so a devotee is eternally grateful to the spiritual master, that Chakshudan Diloje, Janme Janme Prabhu says. So that is there. So how does the spiritual master give the vision or clear vision to have the darshan of the Supreme Lord? He engages the disciple in the process of Krishna consciousness. He engages the disciple, so in the process of Mangalarti, chanting and Bhagavatam class and things like that, and like various other devotional services, and then like he engages the disciple in other preaching activities, and he gives goals and various things, like so various different things the spiritual master can give. But the effect is that, so effectively by following all these instructions, a disciple's heart becomes purified. And even for the matter of a very simple thing, it is not a simple thing, but like for devotees it appears to be a simple thing, an opportunity to attend the Mangalarti, an opportunity to hear Bhagavatam, opportunity to sit down and chant the names of the Lord. So at every step, we need to be grateful to the spiritual master, because without their grace, it is not possible that we are doing these things. And secondly, like without their grace, it is not possible that we get absorption in these things, right? So like if we at all happen to get, like first of all, the opportunity to be part of it is given. So that itself is a great subject for to be grateful. And if we are able to absorb ourselves, if we are able to put our consciousness nicely, or if we are able to hear the holy name clearly, so this itself, this is like next level of mercy, And then if we can do that nicely, and then if we are able to get the further revelations of Anartha Nivritti and Nishta, Shakti and things like that, so then that is like even more greater mercy of the spiritual master. We have to be like more and more grateful to that personality. So in one of the lectures that we are hearing, so it was mentioned that even like somebody by accident hears the holy name of the Lord, so he should be grateful to Srila Prabhupada, because only because of Srila Prabhupada this all this Sankirtan has been Hare Krishna mantra has been popularized. And if somebody is able to be grateful, so then somebody is able to hear even by accident, so he should be grateful to the spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. And one joke was, yesterday we were discussing this point, one devotee told a joke. So in the Vrindavan we have Loi Bazaar, so everybody is grateful to Srila Prabhupada. Because of him we are able to run our business. So all the shopkeepers, they have a big picture of Srila Prabhupada. And, because of this great soul, we are able to get nice business. Or where we were and where we are now. So for some reason at least, so it is very important that spiritual master Srila Prabhupada and the Guru Parampara, all of them are very, very essential. And even if one of the personalities are not pleased, so then we are not going to please the whole of them, right? So it is very essential that we hear the message given by the spiritual master, and then we follow in the mood and mission and execute the services very nicely. So in that way, like, we will be able to please the Supreme Lord, we will be able to please the Guru Parampara, and we will be able to have this transformation of heart. So this is it is mentioned Pratyaksha Vagamam Dharmyam. So it is like something very, very very obvious not to see. Like nobody needs, like Prabhupada used to give this example, nobody needs to check with another person, have I eaten sufficiently or not. In the same way, like, nobody needs to check with other person, like, have I executed devotional service or not. So if I have executed devotional service, lust, anger, greed, all these things should reduce. So that is the effect of devotional service, right? And then attraction, positive attraction towards the Supreme Lord should arise, and positive attraction to the glories of the Lord, and positive attraction towards the holy name of the Lord should arise. So when that thing happens, so then we can understand that we are advancing in Krishna consciousness, right? So like, in this connection, I would also like to read the other shloka, so which is in glorification of the process of devotional service, which is spoken by Prahlad Maharaj in the in response to Hiranyakashipu's questions. Yeah. So Naisham Matisthavadurukramangrim Sprashasti Anarthabagamo Yadartaha Mahiyasham Padarajobhishekam Nishkinchananam Navrinitayavat. So here it's mentioned, unless they smear upon their bodies the dust of the lotus feet of a Vaishnava, completely freed from material contamination, persons very much inclined towards materialistic life cannot be attached to the lotus feet of the Lord, who is glorified for his uncommon activities. Only by becoming Krishna conscious and taking shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord in this way, one can become freed from material contamination. So in the previous two shlokas, it was mentioned about like how a person stuck in the material attachment, so he will not be able to get relieved from that, even by the good instructions by others, or by efforts by oneself. That is not possible. So it is only by also andayata and there, so that shloka is also there. People generally don't know their real interest, self-interest is Vishnu, and they generally go behind the material things. That is the natural thing that happens for people in general. So this is why Prahlad Maharaj is speaking all these things. What is the question that Hiranyakashipu asked? No. How did you become a devotee? How did you become a devotee? So he's telling that it is not possible to become a devotee by one's own endeavor or by effort of other people, who's not a spiritual master or something like that. So by all this means, it is not possible, because nobody knows that Vishnu is the ultimate Swartha, so that nobody knows. So, and how do somebody comes to know that? So this is the this one, unless they smear upon their bodies the dust of the lotus feet of a Vaishnava, completely freed from material contamination. So that is till the time a devotee gets a grace of another exalted devotee, so it is not possible for him to be freed from the materialistic way of life and then become attached to the lotus feet of the Lord. And here it is mentioned, taking shelter of a Vaishnava is considered to be the taking shelter of the Supreme Lord. So the first portion, if you see, it is all about taking shelter of the Vaishnava. And then the second portion, it is mentioned, one should take shelter of Krishna in this way. So so this is the way of this one. So that is a way of taking shelter of the Supreme Lord, by taking shelter of the representative of the Supreme Lord. Right? So, and then the purport it says, becoming Krishna conscious brings about anartha apagamaha, the disappearance of all anarthas, the miserable condition we have unnecessarily accepted. So the material body is the basic principle of these unwanted miserable conditions. The entire Vedic civilization is meant to relieve one from these unwanted miseries, but persons bound by the laws of nature do not know the destination of life. So here we see that, like Prabhupada is clearly mentioning, so unwanted things like the association of a great person and then receiving the mercy of that great person. So all the unwanted things are destroyed. And the greatest unwanted thing, what is the thing that is mentioned? Is a material body. A devotee even is willing to relinquish the material body. So then what is the question of saying I don't want to renounce I don't want to be in renounced ashram, still I want to be known as practitioner of bhakti yoga. So that is a bhakti yogi is even ready to give up his body, what to speak of other things that he has in the life. So the entire Vedic civilization is meant to relieve one from these unwanted miseries, but persons bound by laws of nature do not know the destination of life. As described in the previous verses, Ishatantriam Urudam Nibaddah, they are conditioned by the three strong modes of material nature. The education that keeps the conditioned soul bound life after life is called materialistic education. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has explained that materialistic education expands the influence of Maya. What is the line? Jada Vidya? Jada Vidya Tara Maya Vaibhav. So that's the opulence or the wonderful display of the material nature. Such an education induces the conditioned soul to be increasingly attracted to materialistic life and stray further and further away from liberation from unwanted miseries. So the material education or the material activities is going to bind us more and more. So the thing that we were discussing a while before, when we are not engaged in the Krishna conscious entities as it is, the explanation of the scriptures as it is, or any other thing as it is, if that is not there, so then it is going to be a product of modes of material nature, and it's going to bind us more and more, right? So in the name of Krishna consciousness, many times devotees think that we are doing Krishna consciousness and we are engaged in Krishna consciousness all throughout, but then this quality of engagement is also very essential. If that is not there, so then externally it may be a devotee is seeing Mahabharat serial, but then internally what is happening is he is getting more and more bound to the material attachments. His heart is not becoming purified, right? So one may ask why highly educated persons do not take to Krishna consciousness. The reason is explained in this verse. Unless one takes shelter of a bona fide, fully Krishna conscious spiritual master, there is no chance of understanding Krishna. So one cannot just like that on his own, practice or on his own study the subject matter. So he always needs the bona fide spiritual master to give the proper education. And how does this education happens? So education happens in the traditional way, as the spiritual master speaks and disciple listens and learns certain things. So not just that, but the education also happens by engaging in the service that is given by the spiritual master, and by executing that service for his pleasure. So then a devotee gets proper understanding. And also education comes by the way of following the daily routine of Krishna consciousness. And so when we see that, so a devotee may think, oh, this routine though I was following before even getting initiated. What's the great thing? So before getting initiation also, we were doing that by the help of some devotee, and we were doing that on the instruction of Srila Prabhupada. And now we are getting more assistance of another great follower of Srila Prabhupada, and then by his mercy we will be able to do that in a much better way, right? So in this way, we should see that we are as more and more people are ready to help us in the process of Krishna consciousness, more our project of becoming purified is going to be successful, right? So now by taking initiation, so one more powerful Vaishnava, is going to get involved in the project of delivering me. So that is nice. So, and he's not just one more Vaishnava. He is like a Vaishnava who's specifically interested in my project. All other devotees, they are also interested in my deliverance. But they are doing it. It is not specific. Focus is not there. So, but here, my spiritual master actually accepts me as his disciple and takes ownership of me. So then it becomes a very special personality in my life, right? So unless one takes shelter of a bona fide, fully Krishna conscious spiritual master, there is no chance of understanding Krishna. The educators, scholars, and big political leaders, worshipped by millions of people, cannot understand the goal of life and to take Krishna consciousness. For they have not accepted a bona fide spiritual master in the Vedas. So, and also another important aspect to be understood in this connection is, it is not that if I am taking shelter of my spiritual master, I am taking shelter of Prabhupada, I am taking shelter of any other previous acharya and things like that. It's all different tasks. No, it is all only one task. Only one task of taking shelter of Krishna. So there is no multiple tasks that has been done. Taking shelter of different personalities. Because as you mentioned that one of the qualities of devotee, and the most important prominent quality of a devotee is Krishnaika Sharanam. So exclusively taking shelter of Krishna. And here also in this shloka it is very nicely mentioned. So one should take the dust of the lotus feet of a devotee and surrender to a devotee, and that is a way of surrendering unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? So that is this one, that it is not that it's a different thing, I am taking shelter of different personality. No, I am taking shelter of Krishna only and no one else. Right? So that should be also very nicely understood. So therefore in the Mundak Upanishad it is said, Nayam Atma pravachanena labhyo na medaya na bahuna shrutena. So one cannot become self-realized simply by having an academic education, by presenting lectures in erudite way, pravachanena labhya, or by being an intelligent scientist who discovers many wonderful things. One cannot understand Krishna unless one is graced by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is nice that all other wonderful qualities, if it is seen, so it can be seen in a devotee. But then, if that quality is associated or accompanied with Krishnaika Sharanam, so then it is nice. So then it is then it is to be considered to be a devotee. Otherwise, if this important quality is missing, so then everything else is else is like zeros, for want of one, so they don't have any value. So one cannot understand Krishna unless one is graced by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is all interchangeably used, unless he is graced by a pure devotee of the Lord, unless he is graced by a Supreme Personality of Godhead. So because it is one and the same, right? So if he is graced by a pure devotee of the Lord, it is as good as graced by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And if he is graced by Supreme Personality of Godhead, the question comes is through whom? Which devotee brought the grace of the Lord to him, right? So only one who has surrendered to a pure devotee of Krishna and taken the dust of his lotus feet can understand Krishna. First, one must understand how to get out of the clutches of Maya. The only means is to become Krishna conscious. And to become Krishna conscious very easily, one must take shelter of realized soul, a Mahatma, whose only interest is to engage in the service of the Supreme Lord. As the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakritim ashrita bhajanti ananya manaso nyatva bhutadim avyayam. O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Therefore, to end the unwanted miseries of life, one must become a devotee. Yashyasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana sarvair gunesh tatra samasateswara. One who has unflinching devotional faith in Krishna consistently manifests all good qualities of Krishna and the demigods. Yasya deve para bhaktir yatha deve tatha guru tashyate katita hi artha prakashante mahatmana. Only unto those great souls who have implicit faith in both the Lord and the spiritual master are all the imports of Vedic knowledge automatically revealed. Shvetashvatara Upanishad. Yam evaisha vrunute tena labhyas tasyaiva atma vivrunute tanum swam. The Lord is obtained only by one whom he himself chooses. To such a person he manifests his own form. Right? So this is also in similar shloka to Nayamatma. So this one, like it is one can have great strength, or one can have no great erudition and things like that, but still he will not be able to understand. So who can understand the Supreme Lord? So one who's personally favored by the Supreme Lord himself, one whom the Lord himself chooses, only he can understand the Supreme Lord. So not by our this one. So these are Vedic injunctions. One must take shelter of self-realized spiritual master, not a materially educated scholar or politician. One must take shelter of a niskinchana, a person engaged in devotional service and freed from material contamination. That is a way to return back home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhaktavinda ki jai. So any questions? Okay. Yes, Paul.
This question was, so when we speak about spiritual master, in the Vedic system we see that spiritual master is personally present, guiding. So in the present day it is not the case. We have other Shiksha gurus who help us. We take Diksha from the spiritual master, it is required forever. Yes, we understand the lectures are there, whom the lecturers we are going to hear and implement. But still, that question still remains.
See, in the Vedic times also, like it is only the initial spiritual masters who are there, the Vedic Gurukul. So those are the ones like who are personally guiding and things like that. And generally, like so, if you see the case of Gopakumar, he and his spiritual masters association is like just like maybe a day or so, or little bit of a time. So that's all. Like he gave the procedures, mantra and things like that, and if you follow this procedure, so you will be able to make advancement, right? So like at least in the modern age, we are able to trace the activities of the spiritual master, and we are able to get live lectures and things like that. So in the Vedic times, like maybe probably that disciple heard only one lecture of the spiritual master when he met him personally, and then later on, that's the association that one would get of a very great exalted personality, right? So they would be wandering, traveling mendicants. In case of Parikshit, Shukadeva Goswami came, he spent 7 days and vanished. Vanished for good. So so this is the this one. So it has been a case like this only, that so one would get the association of great personalities, and they would get the get the share of faith, and they would get the procedures of executing the Krishna consciousness, and they would faithfully execute throughout the life. And they would, in the meanwhile, they would take association of other Vaishnavas who are there. So that's the general way it used to be there even then. So like some kind of role reversals have happened. So like generally these exalted personalities would be called as Siksha Gurus, and like Diksha would happen generally like when the children are very small, that time itself like Diksha would happen. And so now we see that first Siksha happens, and then we approach a very exalted soul for a Diksha, or things like that. So the various permutation and combination can happen. So but essentially the thing is, so we should have somebody around us to correct us, and we should have connection with a very exalted personality for getting that kind of faith and execution of intense practice of Krishna consciousness. So these parameters have to be fulfilled. So whether it comes through Diksha or Siksha, whichever way it comes, it is fine. So but these parameters have to be fulfilled. Somebody practically is there to help me in my day-to-day this ones, and association of some exalted person. So for us, we have one for sure personality is Srila Prabhupada. So we have the Shravanam, Kirtanam, we have the literature written by Srila Prabhupada is there, and we know Srila Prabhupada is the preeminent Siksha Guru in ISKCON. So that is a for sure this one. So then other personalities are there, we can take advantage of their presence as well. you know, in that.
So, very wonderful points you mentioned about connecting with the Guru and other things. So, when we say the Guru is Bija, so I always had this doubt. What is that Bija?
If we can, somebody can take that this one of Bhaktilata Beach section. In that, like, you can search procedure. You search that word, methods, procedures, and things like that. So it is something that, So what does a seed means? A seed means like that which has the capability to bring about a big tree. So we also have discussed many times the seed being the desire. So that is also there. So seed being the faith, that a person gets from the spiritual master. And here specifically, like Srila Prabhupada writes, like seed being the methods, procedures, and things that is given to the disciple. So now, like at the time of initiation, so we are told that chant 16 rounds minimum, and then follow the 4 regulative principles, and then avoid the offenses. It's a very powerful seed. So this has the capacity to bring about the whole tree of devotion, which its mature fruit of prema, in it. So all these things can manifest just by like taking this basic seed and executing that. So it has in it, to bring about all these things. So like that's the seed that we get from the spiritual master. So that is something like which is very nicely penned down by Srila Prabhupada. So maybe if it is taking time, so we can read it after the class also. Got it? You can read.
Bhaktilata Bij means the seed of devotional service. Everything has an original cause or seed. For any idea, program, plan, or device, there is first of all the contemplation of plan, and that is called the Bij or seed. The methods, rules, and regulations by which one is perfectly trained in devotional service constitute the Bhaktilata Bij or seed of devotional service. This Bhaktilata Bij is received from the spiritual master by the grace of Krishna.
So this is the thing. So those things, like we know that, many times Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentions this particular thing, that like you just chant, and without committing offenses, like this is very, very powerful. Like in these 3 things that is given, so avoiding of, or like following 4 regulative principles is avoiding of the sinful activities, and 10 offenses is avoiding of offenses to the spiritual entity, and avoiding sinful activities and avoiding offenses if we indulge in the process of Shravanam and Kirtanam. So it is going to be like very, very powerful. And like on our own, so this may be like very, very simple, like it is so simple anybody can follow. It is not possible without the grace of the spiritual master. So anybody who tries to do this, they'll be able to understand ki like it is only material things comes to my mind, like when I sit and chant, or the mind is not able to take shelter of the holy name. So why is it not possible? So because it needs the grace of the spiritual master. So through that, at every step, it needs the grace of the spiritual master. Just like in Samudra Manthan pastime, so we saw that like in the beginning they wanted the support of like Krishna, and like in the middle also they wanted, in the end also they wanted, and finally the result also Krishna only gives. So in the same way, like the support of the spiritual master is necessary at every step, like so in that way, like this is the bija is given, and to properly put the bija and cultivate, so that also we require the mercy of the spiritual master, and later on the fruits, so when it comes, that also it requires the mercy of the spiritual master. So like one thing is, if things are happening properly, so that means we should understand that somehow or other we have been able to please the spiritual master, please the Guru Parampara. So that's how the results are coming, So if results are not coming, so then we should understand like somehow we have not been able to do, and we should ponder and pray, that like I'm going wrong somewhere. I don't know like where I'm going wrong. So I need help, And then so by the way of the devotees around may help, or even the spiritual master, like anyway he is a spiritual master, he is not limited to material domains, so he can help from anywhere. He can actually give by properly taking shelter of him, so we will definitely receive the help.
This is a very nice inspiration, because I was wondering about, I read this before, but how this method rules and regulation becomes the seed.
It has the capacity to bring about everything that is needed.
But one more question for this is, okay, we understand that Riksha Guru gives this, but then we get this before also.
Yeah, so like this aspect of one is that we take shelter of Srila Prabhupada, so that is like all these procedures are given by whom? So by Srila Prabhupada. And then like one important aspect that is necessary in the angas of bhakti is that one takes shelter of a spiritual master. So now one has taken the processes like given by Srila Prabhupada in the parampara. So but then if that is so, like why not he practically also commit himself, you know? So like that is a point like which is explained by a very nice analogy. So if a boy and a girl likes each other, so why not get married? So that is a point that a formal initiation is also very, very essential. So now like we take shelter of, so we know that we take shelter of Krishna, and we in that prominent, there are certain prominent personalities. So we take shelter of Krishna through like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Panchatattva, and then certain other prominent Vaishnavas, and then like very, very prominent and most important personality in our life is Srila Prabhupada, who actually is the latest Acharya who gives clarity of the subject matter, and a very dear servant of Srila Prabhupada we accept as our spiritual master. So it is like surrendering to Krishna, so it has to be done through this process. This is the bona fide process through which we do that. So this is one of the preliminary angas of bhakti that is mentioned. So that is very, very essential to be done. And then when we surrender to that spiritual master, so it is the Vaishnava culture, or it is the Vaishnava etiquette that like it is not that because procedure is there, like I just did something. No, it's not like that. So we surrender to Krishna through that personality. So then we try to see that what is his mood, mission, and how to actually serve him in such a way that he'll become pleased. And that's the way practically like we can please the Supreme Lord Krishna. Right? So yes. So Krishna is important, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Panchatattva is important, and all the Guru Parampara is important, and Prabhupada is very, very important, and the spiritual master is also very important, like that.
Can we say like initially when you came to Krishna consciousness, so it was Guru Tattva in one form who gave the seed?
It's the same, yeah, it's the same in this one. So like we are seeing that as a this one of Siksha of Srila Prabhupada, when like initially when this one is there, and like definitely some devotees are also involved in giving that siksha, and so they are seen as a sincere followers of Srila Prabhupada, and they also act in some capacity of spiritual master. So like which connection of spiritual master we give more importance is a spiritual master who is capable of destroying our anarthas and who is capable of lifting us. So then that kind of a relationship we give more importance to. And other devotees also like they were capable of lifting us from the material pool and to bring to some level of spiritual status. So definitely we have gratitude to that personality as well, to that extent, and then we are grateful to them, and then we are like more we offer our surrender more to a personality who is more liberated, Tattvadarshi, like that.
Living in peace, all our daily process are directed the respective individuals of their own life after life. Out of all of them, some may be witnessed by the association of pure devotees, and thus get the chance to execute devotional service by attainment of taste. This taste is the seed of devotional service.
So every step there is different seeds actually come. So that can be called as like seed. The basic seed also is the seed, which has the capacity to bring about everything. And the further levels, whatever comes, that becomes the seed for further this ones. So like the basic seed is also seed, and then the further things also is, it's just a comparison, right? So like the thing that can give rise to further this ones. So the taste is like it is considered like if you see the whole 9 steps, it's divided into sadhana, bhava and prema. So these 3 things. And what is sadhana? Sadhana means like right from shraddha to what is it, ashakti, ruchi ashakti, it is considered to be like sadhana. And then bhava bhakti is considered to be another stage, and prema bhakti is considered to be another stage. So 3 stages. So if we consider the sadhana bhakti as one stage, so then it produces the seed of, or it produces the result of taste, intense taste, that actually becomes the seed of the further this ones, like that. So in that way, like this, everything gives rise to the next thing, like that. That's perfectly fine. If devotees would like to share some points, and then we can. Oh, it's time, but still today is fasting day.
So I'll share. It's very nice that if you're really doing bhakti, then why there's no transformation? When you're speaking about the ones who are not doing full time, I was wondering that as a full time also.
Yeah, like you're also not doing bhakti.
So I was thinking about myself as a full time also. That thing is not seen what is mentioned in Shastra, but you very nicely pointed out that our connection is not properly established. So maybe the bathroom here is not hearing is not working. You have to sit and hear.
At this point, like we can, whenever we present this point, that if the non-full-time devotees have an objection that we are not doing it, so then we can say like, see, even full-time devotees also like, it is one of the steps, but even transformation is not happening here also. Like we are also struggling to practice bhakti. So it is not happening. We can take a humble position.
So connecting with him by serving him, and serving is Shravanam. We have to hear him and implement the instructions, and that will please him. By his grace, the rest of the things will take place. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for the nice class. Many wonderful points which are to be taken. So this point that at every step that I should be grateful to the Guru, the whole parampara, because I got this opportunity to chant and render some service to the Lord. So this opportunity to attain Krishna Prema and go back home, it's only getting because of the mercy that is flowing from the Lord. So at every moment I should be grateful to all the personalities. So this is the point which I'd like to take and meditate. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for the nice class. So the point which I liked was like, so bhakti is all powerful, but like if we don't connect to it properly, then we are not, it will dilute the effect. So we'll not be able to receive the actual effect of bhakti because we are due to we are not able to connect to it properly. And also, like, even if anywhere we are hearing Hare Krishna mantra, it's only we should be grateful to Srila Prabhupada, because only because of him, like, he popularized the Hare Krishna mantra, and only by his mercy we are able to hear Hare Krishna.
Thank you for nice class, Prabhuji. So you told that service is the medium of connection, and by Sravanam we'll come to know what to be followed, and by following, Guru will be pleased. So, and by doing and by following his instruction and doing services and following morning program nicely, and the effect will be the devotional service, that our lost anger and 6 anarthas, they will go down, and attraction for service and to Krishna, it will be increased. Thank you, Guru.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So very nice points mentioned in the class. One of them was that anyone, even if devotee is given position of Brahma or any position as such, he does not want to accept if service is not there. So devotee's main aim is to engage in devotional service, and he doesn't want to accept any position which lacks the service.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you very much for the nice class. this point of hearing from the bona fide sources, which came on that it's very important, otherwise there won't be any heart transformation. Even though same Krishna Leelas and all the characters are been depicted in that way, but still a person can be demon from inside. Like the difference is demon has his own motives, whereas devotee, he presents only for the pleasure of Lord and Krishna and Guru. So that's what we should hear from bona fide sources, only then we can have some tangible progress.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for the nice class. So one point is like just by moment association of bhakti, there will be purification of heart. It depend on the, like it may be faster or slow. It depend on the attitude of a devotee, how is, and like he's committing offenses or not. Those are the people. And if I'm getting opportunity to do service and getting absorbed in that, I should show my gratitude toward Prabhupada and Guru Parampara. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you, nice class. So you told like a service should be authorized, and also like you told like instruction of spiritual master, that is the great service. So many times like in general we are getting some services from spiritual master is like just like chant the 16 rounds and 4 regulative principles. Means usually they are giving these things, and that is following also a little sometimes difficulties. So how to meditate upon that, and also following at least that, to how to chant at least to 16 rounds properly.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.